It's Milan Simone, the Indigo Oracle, with our magical manifesting story number 4. So this story is about how I moved to LA my first time. Well, my only time. I've been in LA for about almost 9 years now. So the beginning of the story starts, I finished college, I moved back home, and I think I stayed with my mom for about 6 months, and I had some really whack retail job that I was not happy about because I just finished college and I didn't understand why I would be working in the retail place. But anyway, things happen. I'm not bitter, just a little bit, but not really. So during those 6 months, I spent a lot of time writing in a magical manifesting book, which in fact I'll grab, but I really don't want to pause this video, so I'm going to get up because I don't know how to edit. I'm just going to get up and go get it. So I'll be right back. Oh, so it's actually called The 15-Minute Miracle. So in this book, I spent a lot of time writing in it. And every day you're supposed to write something. And you'll fill out this whole paragraph information. And you'll write things that you want, things that are bothering you, whatever it is that you want to happen in your life. So I kept writing, I want to move to LA, I want to move to LA. And my whole reasoning for wanting to move was that I could do graphic design there. There was 2 choices in my mind. I thought I can go to Miami, I can go to LA, and I definitely didn't want to go to San Francisco because I was from the Bay Area, so I kind of wanted to go somewhere else. So those were my 2 choices, LA, Miami. And I thought LA is a little bit closer and I'll be less afraid to go. So I spent a lot of time writing this down. I also spent a lot of time using my aggressive, angry energy. Why am I not in LA? Why am I stuck in this house? Why am I still in this place that I grew up in? And through all that and constantly bugging my mom about it, she finally came to me and said, Milan, why don't we just go? Why don't we go and look and see if we can find you an apartment? Because I remember I was telling her a lot of things, and I was like, look, Mom, I just want to get there. Once I get there, I'll find a job. I'm not worried about that part. So why don't we just try? Can we just go? Can you help me find an apartment? Can you do this? And she was hesitant. She wanted me to kind of work through it in a different way. But she's so used to me being very stubborn. And this was the beginning of kind of her really trusting my insight and my intuition and knowing that I was going to be okay as long as I put my mind into it and my thoughts into it. So she said, why don't we just drive up and stay at a hotel and we'll find you an apartment. I think I had about $200 on me. Working at that retail place, you don't make much money. But so I had $200 on me. And I said, okay. So I started looking on Craigslist for apartments. And I knew I'd have to get a roommate. So I just thought I'll just get the apartment and then I'll figure out how I'm going to pay for it. So we drove. Oh, sorry. I have to go back a little bit. So that the night before we were to drive up to LA, I had a dream. And in this dream, I was on in nature. I was outside. And I was laying on a slate rock, and I was completely naked, and there were 7 kind of crystal-like beings, or beings that were holographic in the sense, I could see through them, and they were surrounding me, and each one of them didn't speak. It was all energy. They took their hands and placed their hands on certain parts of my body. Now that I know better, it was all my chakras, and each being was a chakra being. And to be honest, I just remember what they looked like and how it felt. And I remember waking up vibrating because they were trying to insert and change certain chakras, and they hit a certain chakra, and I wasn't really having it. So I kind of woke myself up. But this is a key point in telling you how the universe communicates with you. So I had this dream, and I wrote it down. It was very vivid, and I thought, okay, well, this is probably a sign too. And also that night before I went to bed, what looked like a scarab beetle flew into my room. I mean, it looked like a scarab beetle. I don't know if it really was, but I took that as a sign as well. It was like, okay, this is kind of like a powerful symbol, especially in Egyptian mythology and things like that. So I thought, okay, I'm on the right path. So the next morning we drive up and we check in. We're in Santa Monica. We go looking around. This was not an easy task, by the way. I definitely had to experience my own resistance, and it showed up in other things, like in roadblocks, what you would consider a roadblock. So, one of them was I'm pretty sure I got in an argument with my mom. Like, I know that happened. But also other things like traffic, or trying to find an apartment and then getting lost on the way, or meeting someone and then it not being the right person, or there's crazy. So there was a couple of things where I was kind of like, okay, I have a choice here. I can run away from how this is showing up, or I can push through it and just use my discernment about it and kind of take a chill pill. So fast forward, we're searching, and we start making appointments. There's 2 places that I'm interested in seeing, and they need a roommate situation. So we go to both of them, and one of them I actually made as my roommate. I ended up really enjoying her company, and so she decided she would like to have me move in. So here's the kicker, though. So the kicker was that in order to move in, it was like the middle of the month or something like that. She wanted, prorate everything, which was fine. I understand it, but I didn't have the money to do it. So I had to make a decision and decide how I was going to stay there. And during this time, when I'm in LA, I get a call from a place that I internshipped at during the summer in Los Angeles. And it was actually the owner. And he told me that his business got bought out and he was working for another company. And he wanted me to come in for an interview. And I was just floored. I was like, how much more alignment can I take? Wow. I said I want to move to LA and now I'm getting a job. Like, this is great. I had the job and the apartment within 2 weeks of just setting that intention, and my mom saying, let's do it, and supporting me and moving forward on it. So, but because I couldn't move into my apartment, I had to stay at a friend's place. And there was drama there because I won't even go into that. There were some other situations happening, ex-boyfriends, stuff like that. And anyway, I ended up staying at a friend's place and sleeping on their floor for 2 weeks. And at this time, I did not have a car in my life either. So I was waking up, taking the bus. Sometimes they would pick me up, and my friends in LA, and take me to work and then drop me off. So it was definitely humbling to have people help. And I remember being there feeling very alone and very kind of out of sorts because I was in a new experience. However, I did see the magic in it, that I had, for some reason, I figured out how to make my dream work with nothing, literally not much in my pocket. So I had $200. That was it. And then by just making a decision and moving forward, the universe heard that and felt my energy, my want, and my passion, because that's really important, that emotional passion or emotion that you have attached to whatever it is you want or you're speaking. The universe heard that, and it provided me with the tools. And yes, some of these things were past stuff, but I think they were all working together. And you'll understand that things that happen in your past meet you in the future. So be thankful for all parts that are showing up in your life. So back to those chakra beings that I was telling you about. So my 3rd month, maybe living in LA, I kept going past this place that had a yoga. It had a green wall and yoga written on it, and it was really big. And it was behind the arc light. And I kept going, I want to go in this place. I don't know what it's about. I'd only done yoga twice in college, and I hated it. I thought it was horrible. I didn't understand it. And I tried to do a little bit of it when I moved back home, and I actually did enjoy that. But it wasn't really like something I was like, ooh, yoga. I wasn't a yogi yet. So one weekend my mom was in town, and I was like, Mom, I'm really curious about this place. Let's go in together. So we walk in, and right when I walk in, I see these paintings of these beings that I dreamed about the night before I moved to LA. And like my mouth dropped. I was like, Mom, those are the beings that I saw in the dream. She was like, what? I said, those are them. Oh my gosh, someone has painted them. Someone has seen them before. Like I wasn't making this up. And immediately I knew that I needed to take class there. And I told my mom, I said, this is it. I'm going to do yoga here. And to my surprise, I took my first class. And I'm getting so many goosebumps right now because this is so true. I took my first class with Gurmukh, and it was Kundalini Yoga. I'd never heard of Kundalini Yoga, and I loved it. It was exactly what I wanted. It's exactly what I needed. It was never going to be the same routine or poses every single time you came in. It was going to be different all the time. And it was the most spiritually aligned yoga that I know, that I've heard of, that I've actually experienced in my life. And I think it really helped clear and bring balance into myself and into my world. And it's created a really strong foundation about who I am. So anyway, I could go on preaching about the yoga and all that, but I just wanted to share that these beings, painted by Michael Aubrey, who I later met and told him about, and we both laughed about how the body vibrates when you're experiencing them. So we were having the same sensations, and this was a complete stranger. But it's magic, and I think it just proved to me that there was more out there than what I thought there was. There is something watching us. There is something helping us. There are angels. There are the universe. There are stars. Everything is there to support us, and they're in it with us. And it made me feel really connected and understanding that there's a purpose for us being here. So anyway, I know this magical manifesting story may not be super exciting, but I think there are a lot of high points about how when you're trying to manifest, there are signs and things bringing you towards whatever you're trying to manifest. And you might hit roadblocks, especially if it's a bigger manifestation that you may have some subconscious beliefs about you not being worthy of having it. And you will go through them physically, but it's just like a test, or like I don't want to use the word test, but it's just something you have to go through and know that you'll still be okay. And it's just an initiation. There you go. It's not a test. It's an initiation to yourself, proving to yourself that you're worth it and that you can do it and it's meant for you. So thank you so much for tuning in. I will be back with number 5. And I think I'm going to talk about, maybe I'll talk about my boyfriend who looked like Tyson Beckford, because I was obsessed with Tyson Beckford and a bunch of other model guys when I was a teenager. And I magically pulled some guy in that kind of looked like that. So that's a good one. So thank you for tuning in, and I enjoyed sharing with you. If you have any stories you'd like to share about you manifesting anything in your life, please do post a video or email me at indigo.angel.love@gmail.com. Okay, take care. Bye.